All right, let's get started with the first half of this. And I hope Gerber Johnson don't mind me using his thumbnail for this one. Shout out, by the way. But in fact, I wasn't expecting to do a double hitter. However, someone decided to challenge me on one of my videos where I clearly stated that there's no face, there's no face of the Manosphere. Not a single person can represent the Manosphere as a whole. And of course, this fool tried to argue me down, trying to tell me otherwise. All right. All right. Once again, challenge accepted. But I'm about to break it down in complete, in depth, and in complete, simple terms. In fact, the video after this one is going to tie everything in together in regards to the Manosphere. So stay tuned to that video as well. Now, in case this fool, no introduction required, by the way, but anyway, in case this fool haven't paid any attention to that part of the video where I clearly state that there are no face in the Manosphere, allow me to break it down in simple details that even a 10-year-old can understand completely. You see, you got these clowns out here that believes that people like Fresh and Fit, Snako, Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, just pearly things. They think that they are the face of the Manosphere, when in actuality they're not. And on a side note, I don't know why they got Jordan Peterson on there. Jordan Peterson is completely at distance with the Manosphere. Why do they always include him? I don't know, but that's misleading right there. He will talk about the Manosphere. But as far as I concern, as far as all the information I gathered, he's not part of it. But as I stated in that previous video, in which I still stand firm on what I said, in order for anyone to be the face of the Manosphere, and I repeat again, for anyone to be the face of the Manosphere, they must represent and have complete support of all the sectors, all the groups, all the factions of the Manosphere, which is impossible. And I'll tell you why. The Manosphere isn't just one group as a whole. The Manosphere consists of several different groups, factions, and sectors, in which, by the way, all these groups may be part of the Manosphere, but another thing to keep in mind, not all these groups are not united as one in the Manosphere. Now, what does Uncle JD mean by that? It's simple. All these groups in the Manosphere, they may be part of the Manosphere, but get this. The groups don't agree with don't agree with everything other groups believe. Some groups don't even see eye to eye with each other. And in many cases, in many cases, you got groups that don't get along or even beef with other groups. And this is what makes the manosphere, and this is what makes the manosphere so complex. In fact, this is also the reason why the haters and the anti-manosphere in general constantly fail at their attempts on stopping the manosphere. Yeah, I said it. I make no apologies. I make no apologies about it. If you got a problem, fuck your feelings. I ain't gonna sugarcoat the shit. It's the fact that all the groups of the manosphere have their differences with other groups makes the manosphere so complex. So, how can someone be the face of the manosphere if they can't represent all the groups of the manosphere because of differences? The answer to that is you can't. They can only represent the part of the manosphere they represent, and not any other group. I'm going to use both Sneeko, Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, and just Pearly Things as key examples here. Because these are the ones who are highly influential. And which the fool try to argue me down on that shit too, talking about, but everybody listens to these people. They're a big influence. Okay, so just because they're a big influence, that means that they're the face of the manosphere? They're the representation of the manosphere? Much to learn, you still have. Much to learn, you still have, young Padawan. And I'll tell you why. You see, anybody can fake being manosphere. And I'm not calling them fake. I'm just using this as an Amazon Prime example here and try to keep up. A person can fake being part of the manosphere. You know, they say fake it till you make it. However, if he has the tools and if he has the tools, the charisma, what may have you, what's going to stop that faker from drawing support? Nothing will stop that faker from gaining support. And if he gains enough support, guess what? Guess what? People will look at him as a big influence. However, he's pretending to be part of the manosphere. He's a complete fake, a complete fraud. But because of his support and his big influence, anyone could tell that faker that, oh, he's the face of the manosphere. He's the representation of the manosphere, right? Right. So in conclusion, they're not the face or the representation of the manosphere just because they have a huge following and they are a big influence, because anyone can fake the shit and still reach that certain level. That right there is debunk. It's debunk, you fool. Now let's debunk something else. Andrew Tate. As I recall, I made videos going at Andrew Tate for his remarks regarding MGTOW. Yes, I'm a MGTOW. And the MGTOWs are also part of the manosphere. As well as Andrew Tate showed his disdain for other groups of the manosphere as well, which disqualifies him from being the face and the representation of the manosphere as a whole. How are you going to be the face and representation of the Manosphere if you only support one part of the Manosphere or a few parts of the Manosphere, but not all of the Manosphere? So Andrew Tate is not the face or the representation. Guess who else? Neither is Kevin Samuels. Now, when he was alive, I did listen to Kevin Samuels just to get a few notes in and what I can learn. And just like Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels also shown his disdain from other groups of the Manosphere. Because of this, yeah, they may call him the Godfather. I'll give him that. But what they can say is Kevin Samuels is the face and the representation of the Manosphere. It's impossible. It's impossible to have that position if you don't have the full support of all the groups, factors, and sectors of the Manosphere. You can't get along with one group of the Manosphere or a few groups of the Manosphere while despising all the other groups. If you can't get along with all the other groups of the Manosphere, then how can you be the representation? Okay then. Now, the reason why I'm not counting Fresh and Fit, they are a poor representation. I'm sorry, not sorry. They're a poor representation. I can't take them seriously. As I said before, Jordan Peterson, he will talk about the Manosphere, but just because you talk about something doesn't mean that you're part of it. Now we come to just pearly things. In fact, the fool asked me this. But yeah, I asked the fool this question: Who could come close to being the face and representation of the Manosphere? This fool popped out just pearly things, in which I could easily refute that too. And it's more than the fact that she's a female. Let's just get that out the way. Now, just pearly things was able to get along with some parts of the Manosphere. However, the vast majority of the Manosphere knows her past history. And because of her past history, she's not welcome in the majority of the groups and sectors of the Manosphere. That includes my group as well, MGTOW. In fact, we let it be known. But JD, what was her past history? Okay, I'll get to it. Just Pearly Thing's past history was the fact that she Me Too'd a man. Not just that, but she falsely Me Too'd a man. Yes, no one would have thought that actually happened, but it did. And yeah, even though she had success get along with some of the parts of the Manosphere, when she tried to reach out to other parts of the Manosphere, we rejected her. And yes, I say we. She talked about MGTOW, but everybody, including myself on the MGTOW side, but everyone else in MGTOW, let it be known that we are grateful that you know what the MGTOW philosophy is about and you have a clear understanding, but this does not mean that you're welcome here. In fact, we don't even want you here. especially after you me too'd an innocent man. And I wasn't the only one saying this. Other MGTOWs were saying this shit too. And when I look at other parts of the manosphere, they all say the same thing. She me too'd an innocent man. Why would we be comfortable having her on our side of the manosphere? So so that right there completely destroys any hope that just Pearly things have being the face and representation. And Sneeko left the manosphere. He don't he no longer wants to have any part of it. So of course that completely null and voids him. One person asks, okay, if they can't be the face and representation of the manosphere as a whole, then at the very least, are they the representation of the groups they are from? Probably. I'm not going to say a full yes because I'm unsure of that myself. So I'm going to say probably. After all, Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, Sneeko are all pickup artists. Just Pearly things, I don't even know what to say. Fresh and fit pickup artists. So by the end of the day, there are no representatives of the manosphere, nor are there any faces of the manosphere as a whole. And this is the reason why when we see these videos of these people going around trying to make these trying to make these trying to make these cats into the face and representation of the manosphere, all I could do is just laugh at this shit. No, 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 no. That's by their definition, not by all of the manosphere as a whole. But that's my take on it, and this is the end of the first half. I will come back on later on and deliver the second. I said what I had to say. I'm done with the matter, and I'm out this bitch. Later.